WNST, Towson, Baltimore, and Baltimore Positive. It is positively Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving time. Turkey, pumpkin pie, figgy pudding, kielbasa and sauerkraut in my house. All of it. But I'll tell you what, we're going to have some leftovers on Friday. We're doing the Maryland Crab Cake Tour. It's all presented by our friends at the Maryland Lottery. This is the exact mask that I wore on my face the entire time I was with Mayor Brandon Scott at Coco's last week because we were in the city. We are countyizing, going with Baltimore County Executive Barry Glassman this Friday. We're going to be at Conrad's Crabs. I've had Conrad's Crabs many times, but never Conrad's Crab Cake. Probably get some sides with that too, but no French fries, please. No French fries, not this weekend. I had enough gravy, enough pumpkin pie, and all that going on. Also going to be joined by Bill Cole from Cole Roofing, my dear sponsor who inspired all of these wise conversations and kindness and charity and talks about Barks and Giving Tuesday and all the stuff that we're doing. We're also going to be joined by Eric Sauer, who also inspired all this with There Goes My Hero and helping save my wife's life, not once, but twice, on the bone marrow registry and leukemia and cancer. We're talking about all of that on Friday at Conrad's. Next Friday to Pappas, courtesy of our friend Leonard Raskin at Raskin Global because he loves the Pappas crab cake. And Mike Bordick has decided to join us, talk a little baseball with us on Friday, the 3rd of December. Also going to be joined by Jim Rees at Offutt Kerman. I'm joined every week by this guy. He loves the Maryland Lottery. I'm letting myself play here each and every week, having crab cakes and probably eating too much. John Martin is the director of the Maryland Lottery and Gaming. He sits in front of the pretty Maryland flag that I saw flying throughout Chicago last weekend along with the purple as I made my way back. Happy Thanksgiving to you. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing well, Nestor. Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours as well. Hey, you can wear that mask outside of Baltimore City. That mask is sanctioned in all counties. It's sanctioned from Ocean City to Oakland, so you can wear proudly your Maryland Lottery mask.
Listen, I'm not going to get chippy with you today. I'm happy to wear it inside, but outside, I'm mask-free outside, and I got to get my 3rd shot. And here's the thing about mask-free. I'm lying because in Chicago, it was so cold. I walked out of the bar, put the mask on, and I'm like, this is just going to be warmer for me to get home this way. So it's a protective device,
I'm all about that. Yeah.
Well,
I'm all about that.
You're from Ohio. This is the week I should be giving you a hard time as, you were born and raised a Browns fan. And I'm too thankful that the Browns are in last place and we're in first place to give you a hard time. So I'm going to give you a pass this week, John. How about that?
Well, thank you, Nestor. Although be careful, that first to last can go pretty quickly here in the AFC North. So
I just hope Lamar doesn't have to use the bathroom on Sunday. That's all I'm saying. Let's keep Matt on the field. John, for you, we've been kidding around and talking about the Papal Smoke and talking about Swark, and I can't talk football here without having Tom Dunai and Chuck Kilgore screaming at me about when's the casino open and when can I bet on the game? So. And every week you tease me and you tell me, and we're trying, and you're not even in charge. They just put you in front of this. Tell me about Swark this week. What's going on with the with sports and casino and wagering in our state?
Sure, it sounds like a loosely, thinly veiled promise, but we are getting very, very close, Nestor. Last week, the SWARC did award the licenses to the 5 casinos that were sitting there in front of them. And what that means to Marylanders is that sometime before the end of December.
Oh, it's almost the beginning of December. Like a couple days is the beginning of December.
We can see it on the horizon. And my plan and our team here is doing our best to get all 5 of these venues up and running. I can't guarantee that yet because it's a dance, right? We've got to work with each of these facilities, and there are a number of sign-offs and final checks that have to happen. We have to go and visit each of these sites now and make sure that what they've built out, and some of them have built out elaborate lounges, but what they've built out are compliant with security and surveillance issues and practices. We have to make sure that their internal control systems, that their accounting for the wagering and the paying of those wagerings is in place. We have to make sure that their staff is trained to handle the new clientele. We have to make sure that their responsible gaming practices and policies are updated and now inclusive of sports wagering. And the very last piece of that, Nestor, before they can open the doors, is that we actually go on site and conduct 2 days of simulated wagering. So think of it as a soft launch. So we come on site and we go through all of the requisite steps, make sure that people can make wagers, that they get paid properly, and they account for it properly in the back office. And when that happens, then these 5 casinos, I'm sure, will not be bashful about it. You'll have grand openings and you'll have announcements, but we are extremely optimistic that not only will happen in December, but more importantly, it means we will take advantage of that January, February playoff and Super Bowl run. So it's good news to report. Fingers, toes, and eyes crossed. But we will get to that finish line very, very soon.
Maybe it's because my high school theater teacher, Mr. Riggs, showed me Guys and Dolls, but I use is this on the up and up? I use that. And I would say for the people that are angry about how long this is taking or whatever, you got to make sure this is on the up and up. I mean, we're not just going to open casinos, in the state of Maryland and just say, here, come get it. There's a whole lot that has to happen, and this is the time that from here to there, listen, I've had a million people open restaurants, and they have soft openings, and I come down and just trying to make sure that the food they're bringing to the table is the right stuff. And this has to be, we've never done this in this state, right? And for many people that have gone to Vegas and made a bet on their phone or did something illicit along life's highway, doing it the right way takes a whole bunch of people like you and people behind the scenes to make sure that once it's open, it's smooth. Because the nightmare here is that something's not on the up and up.
Well, and I'll give you another example from another jurisdiction. The good people in the state of Florida at the beginning of the month opened up sports wagering via their mobile applications, and yet this week a federal judge struck that down and stopped sports wagering in Florida. And it has to do with a lot of things that won't be relevant here. It has to do with the tribal compact between the state of Florida and the Indian nations there, the Senecas that run, or the Seminoles rather, that run the gaming there. But there's a case where people got all amped up about it, got ready to go, and 3 weeks in, they had to pull the plug on it. And now they're back literally to square one. So no one wants to see anything like that where you have to stop, start, which is why it's been very, very careful process. The SWARC, through their due diligence, did all the things they needed to do to get things in place. And now that last step is for us to work with each of these 5 casinos and make sure that everything, like you say, is on the up and up, and when we can get things going. And it should be a great 6 weeks from January 1 through the middle of February. Historically, that is the betting year in sports wagering. I mean, you look at various things that happen through the year. Yeah, there's March Madness. Yeah, there's the World Series. Nothing brings in the bettors like NFL playoffs and Super Bowl. If we had missed this window, it would have been,
costly, very costly. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because now you're talking about revenue not coming into the state, going outside the state. And you're talking about the Maryland blueprint for the education fund not getting funded.
Well, the other thing, John, is when you open the doors for this, it's going to be a butts and elbows. I mean, like, people are the first weekend this happens, it's going to be, these casinos are going to be overwhelmed. They're going to need extra staff, which is always the hardest part right now, right, in the whole world. Yeah, sure. That there's going to be some frustration in that too, because they want to do it the right way. So I can. Anytime something like this happens and people are this giddy to do it, and they want to get down and sit in that lounge, and they want to drink a drink and eat and go to a table and have that Vegas experience without having to get on an airplane and deal with 120 degrees and dry weather, they're going to want to do this. So I can imagine if this thing opens the first weekend of playoffs and the Ravens have a home game and they're favored and blah, blah, And by the way, if you love the Ravens, you're going to be able to wager on them. John Martin is here. He is the director of Maryland Lottery and Gaming, and we're talking about SWARC. I mean, the word SWARC, will we ever hear that again? Or SWARC will be a part of this, but SWARC's going to be opening up more and more and more. More people are going to be going back to them, right?
Yeah, absolutely. As a matter of fact, I mean, they are well aware, I don't know if everybody else is, but they are well aware that their work really hasn't even started yet, because now that we're going through this process, and after these first 5, we at Maryland Lottery and Gaming still have to work through about a dozen other entities that were named in legislation to get them up to speed. And that the next wave you should anticipate would be people in the off-track betting, the OTB locations, and there are a handful of those around the state. So once we get these 5 casinos up and running here in December, we then shift our attention to the OTB locations, 2 bingo halls, the professional sports teams, if they choose to, the racetrack. So there are people in line that we will focus on. Meanwhile, SWARC will be focused then on the competitive licensing process, which means we have up to 30 brick and mortar retail licenses and up to 60 mobile licenses. And the SWORC now has to focus on how do you regulate those competitive license awards, and when does that window open? And how do we review those applicants? And quite frankly, and I've gone on record saying this, I'm not going to change it now. We could easily be a year from now before the mobile betting wagering on your phone comes into play, which is all the more reason we want to get these brick and mortar locations up and running now.
John Martin is here. We are talking all things SWARC and all things casino, but we also have like the regular lottery and the regular jackpot that my wife played last week because she likes when it gets to that third digit. That means a lot. I still think 99 million I could get by on, and I could probably get by on like 4 million, quite frankly. But we're all trying to play, and we're all trying to win. People are winning all the time, right? And you have some scratch-off games and second chances above and beyond the Ravens, and we're getting to the end of the Ravens, right? Like Ravens scratch-offs, you only make so many of those, and once they're gone, right?
Yeah, and we've been fortunate enough, especially with the deep playoff runs over the last several years, that those Ravens tickets are favorites through the holiday period and well up until the Super Bowl. But you're right, Nestor. Not only is it the scratch off cash prizes that can be won, is that we have a very robust second chance program. And many of your listeners, I'm sure, are members of our My Lottery Rewards second chance program, where you take a non-winning ticket and you build your account and you accumulate points, and then you can convert those points into fabulous prizes. I was surprised. It takes a lot to surprise me. I was surprised today to find out that we have up for grabs a trip for two to Key Largo. And all you have to do as a My Lottery Rewards member is to allocate 75 of your points in your account for an entry, and we will make that selection. You make your entry in by January 3rd on Tuesday, January 4th.
I want to make a pitch for Key Largo. It's warmer there today.
Have you been to Key Largo?
I have, and I'll tell you, my wife last winter took a week and went on a yoga retreat with Jesse Benson, and she does flow-yo. You know, you see, my wife gets on it's like a surfboard, but you do yoga on it, right? Like out on the water.
Okay.
So my wife.
Boats involved in this, are there?
Well, that was in the summer. No, I did goat yoga. I've done goat yoga and I've done kangaroo yoga. But I've never done yoga.
Whoa, wait a minute. There's a thing called kangaroo yoga.
Yeah, you want to see pictures of it? Hold on a second. It's right by. I did it. I did kangaroo yoga the day after I ran into you in Ocean City. We did kangaroo yoga just across the Delaware line.
I was gonna say there are no kangaroos in Ocean City.
Listen, I'll prove to you that that's a false.
So you got to go to Delaware. Is that it?
Well, here's the thing: the Maryland Crab Cake Tour took me a lot of places, and I tried to not go out of the state. I did cross the West Virginia line to get some gas at one point out when I was fly fishing out, but I didn't cross state lines much. But I went into Delaware on that Saturday morning because they have kangaroo yoga. Listen, hold on here. Look, I'm gonna show you right on my Facebook page. If you're watching out on our YouTube, you'll see it. This is me doing kangaroo yoga. All right?
No.
So
no way.
I don't make this stuff up. I mean, how can I make something so outrageous up? So I don't even know what the point of this was. You've meandered me off of
Key Largo.
Key Largo. So my wife,
lottery player, is going to win a trip to.
My wife does floating yoga, and she spent a week in Key Largo. And here's the thing. She calls me like on the 5th day. She's having the greatest time, right? She's down there, a bunch of cool people. The weather's great. I got the cat. I'm working on getting the Maryland Lottery to sponsor the Crab Cake Tour. So this is last winter. She calls me, and she's like, she can barely speak. She was out paddling, and manatees came up to her board. She said, I had an encounter with a manatee. So that's the kind of stuff when you go to Key Largo. You know, if you're going to let yourself play, there you go. You can meet manatees on the side of your flow-yo.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I don't know how we get back to whatever it is we were talking about.
Well, it's not as good as seeing Justin Tucker kick a 66-yard field goal for me if you win the Ravens contest. But so your contest, you have these sort of esoteric, fun, let yourself play kind of gifts that more than just money. You give away more than just money, right?
Yeah, and over the year they can be things like high tech televisions.
Can you get me a PlayStation for somebody in my family for Christmas?
No, I can't do that. But you can if you enter My Lottery Rewards and try to get in on one of those. But his and her watches, yard equipment, outdoor dining sets, exercycles. I mean, they're just things all over, but every once in a while we do a thing like a cool trip. So hopefully one lucky winner will win a fabulous trip to Key Largo, where they may want to look up the Floyo or Yo.
I want the outdoor dining set because I'm about to move and we're going to have outdoors. I've had nowhere to put my outdoor. There's nowhere to put outdoor dining up here, John. But where we go, maybe I've seen this on all the home improvement shows. Yeah. So I mean, I'm all about it. Hey, locally, lots of people winning, lots of people going in. I talk about my sponsors at Wise and Rofo and buying tickets and all that. This time of year, you have lots of holiday features and different things, different ways to play, right?
Absolutely. And I'm going to do a little a switcheroo here on you. And any time of the year, but certainly during holidays, we want to remind everybody that of the responsible gaming initiatives, and we pride ourselves on being transparent and first and foremost, really talking about the child's play is not a lottery ticket. So you need to be 18 years or older to play the lottery. And I know there are stories, people grew up with getting scratch offs in their stocking as an 8-year-old, but that's really not the preferred way to go. And we want people to play and enjoy the games as adults, but recognize that, stocking stuffers for children is probably not the appropriate place and for a lottery ticket. So just keep that in mind as you get your gift list together and you look for opportunities. But there are plenty of promotions that we have throughout the year, and certainly during the holidays. A lot of our Keno racetracks, our monitor games, we like to do annual promotions that our players enjoy. Certainly the scratch off tickets. There's always holiday second chance drawings available for cash prizes, and who doesn't want a little extra cash over the holiday season? So,
well, you get the extra cash, maybe you can afford the PlayStation as long as we can get it here, right?
There you go. That'd be the way to do it.
I remember the Cabbage Patch dolls, man. We've had shipping problems forever here, 40 years. John Martin's here. He's with the Maryland Lottery. He's the director of lottery and gaming, but not SWARC, even though SWARC's doing things right now. We'll keep an eye on everything. And John's going to join us at some point for the Maryland Crab Cake Tour. We're going to be at Conrad's in Abingdon and Bel Air this Friday with Harford County Executive Barry Glassman. And then next Friday, Mike Bordick's going to join us up at Pappas. So we hope you come out. Celebrating my 30th anniversary this month in December, not just opening casinos for gaming and whatnot, but also celebrating 30 years. We're going to be at the Beaumont starting that celebration on the 9th over in Catonsville. We've got some great guests for that, and I'm hoping to get over to Costas for the holidays, over to the homeland, and maybe bring you over. They love the lottery over on the east side. You know that, John.
Absolutely. Yep.
All right. Anything you want to kick any sand in my face on this Ravens-Browns thing, or we're just going to be nice to each other? How's this going to go?
I think it's going to be survival of the fittest. I think both teams are hurt physically and probably emotionally as they're getting here towards the finish line. And I just think the last 6-7 weeks with the way the NFL schedulers really navigated things, it's going to be a tough road for any team in the AFC North to survive. So truly, someone has got to win the division, right? So
I didn't like all of this backstacked schedule, right? Because when you lose guys for the year, you don't have them. And, Mayfield's running around with one arm right now. And I didn't think it's a great idea conceptually to have the Steelers at the end and the Bengals at the, that this is the most important time of the year. But it's also the time of the year where, to your point, they're most beaten up. We've added this extra game and all. So I don't know that we're going to get the cleanest football, but it's certainly the league. They know what they're doing. I mean, on a week-by-week basis, there's nothing quite like the league. And that's the thing I keep talking about. For all the stuff off the field and St. Louis and Kroenke and, all the bad things that happen, when the games start and the games are being played, it's a magic that brings people together. It really is.
And I will just admit that next week I will not be here, so it has nothing to do with the game. But win, lose, or draw, Carol Gentry will be talking with you next week.
She's not a Steelers fan, is she?
No.
All right, Rob, just make it short. Steelers week. I want to make sure you're not planting enemies in here next week on me, all right? I mean, the Browns, we don't get mad at the Browns. And, the cheap shot, my wife and I were talking about the game and selling tickets and it's cold out and whatever. And she's like, hey, the Browns are pretty good, right? And I'm like, they're still in last place. And I will remind everyone all week long who's from Cleveland that they're in last place. So that's just my little reminder. It's just a fact. It's not a cheap shot. But, hey, have a great Thanksgiving. Hey, Ohio, I want to ask you this because I've been asking folks, especially folks from other places, is there anything on your Thanksgiving spread that would not traditionally, that I might not know about, or I haven't. I'm looking for side dishes. I know you're doing turkey and ham, like all that stuff, but I had like I had Bailey on from Barks. We were talking about beautiful animals. She's from Chicago. She told me about this cornbread casserole and things that we don't have. So we do kielbasa and sauerkraut on the east side. What's your thing that would be weird but enjoyable for me?
Well, in Ohio for the last several years, we have a nice plate of Wolverine.
What?
For the it's the Michigan Ohio State game, and for the last several years, the Wolverines have.
I have a feeling the Harbaugh family does not serve this on their holiday menu.
Not in the Toledo area, not in Northwest Ohio. You cannot get that.
See, this is what happens when the Browns stink.
In Cleveland,
they start talking about Ohio State, and then LeBron, and then the Guardians. By the way, Guardians. We have to get used to saying Guardians, just so we all know.
You know what? I think I'm going to bring back some swag when I go home this weekend for you, so you'll have some Guardian stuff.
All right. I threatened last week to stop over at the Wise in Maiden Choice and get a Catonsville Comets hat for Don Moeller. So I'm in the market for new hats. I mean, my hair is still growing, but a Guardians hat.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, it's been weird all week because I've had all these Cleveland writers on talking about the Browns, and then we inevitably get to Ohio State, and I give them a cheap shot about Big Ten or something like that, and then we get to talking baseball, and we have to have a new word we use. So Guardians, I'm trying to use it as much as I can so it rolls off the tongue. I had to get the R out on on the other side of the Beltway, so you know that too. So, John, have a beautiful holiday. Eat lots of pumpkin pie, but not too much. Have a scoop of ice cream. Do yourself right. Enjoy yourself. And I hope you're sad about 11:30 on Sunday night, but it just means we're friends. That's all. All right?
That's all. One way or the other, Nestor, we will talk again.
John Martin's happy because the Swark people have had the white smoke up. We're going to be opening casinos sooner than later. You can find him each and every week here. He's going to take a bye week next week. Carol's going to come by. We'll get him back 2 weeks from now. We appreciate you, and we're going to be letting ourselves play. The Maryland Lottery sponsors the Maryland Crab Cake Tour, and we're going to be out and about each and every Friday, so I'm going to mix a little crab cake with my turkey. I am Nestor. We are WNST, AM 1570, Towson, Baltimore, and we never stop talking Baltimore positive.